Welcome to AI Powered Marketer. Hi, I'm Ralph Henderson. I'm your host of the Global Supply Chain Marketing Group. This episode is brought to you by Supply Chain Brain Media. That's supplychainbrainmedia.com. If you have any questions throughout this show, and I would be very surprised if you don't, please put those in the Q&A area in the webinar. We'll get to as many of those today live as we can. And even if we don't get to them live, we will get back to you because we'll make sure we circle back once the show is over. So here we go. We're in episode 3 of 3. And for those of you who didn't see the first 2 episodes, fear not, we'll get you that information as well. But we've been walking through the AI story, the AI revolution, and it's been powerful and it's exciting. If you're in supply chain marketing and you are responsible for getting copy out there and lead generation and branding and content, man, this is just such a great tool. And we've been very thrilled to bring this to you so that you can be better and we can all come together as an industry and provide better material, better information, more training, and just get more um, data out there about what we do. In the supply chain space, we've been guilty for years of lagging a lot of times with technology. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's actually something you can measure and something that has been researched. But here's the good news. I feel like we're now looking forward to leading in technology. And the only thing separating us from lagging to leading is learning. And that's what these shows are for. Today, we're going to talk about AI. We're going to talk about something that is familiar to those of you using it. And if you're not, you're going to enjoy this. It's called the cold start problem. Nope, I'm not talking about your car from a long time ago. This is actually in AI. So you're going to want to pay attention to that. We're trying to become more valuable as employees. Employers are now they're starting to measure how valuable we are by revenue per employee. And so I just want you to know this training is going to help you become more valuable and dare I say, maybe even help you consider doing something for yourself. Maybe you start your own business, or maybe you help, another business become bigger. We just want to help you professionally and personally. So, with that, I also would be remiss if I didn't tell you about our next series. We actually have a brand new series starting in January for the Global Supply Chain Marketing Group on lead generation. Lead generation is what you have told us is important to you. And we are going to start a 3-part series in January on the 14th at 11 o'clock. If you want to pre register, you can scan that QR code. We will begin that in earnest, and we're planning to do that for the first 3 months of 2025 to help you be better at lead generation and content development to enhance your lead generation. You're not going to want to miss that. We're looking forward to that, and we'll give you more information on that as time comes. And now, today, to present episode 3 of 3 of our AI powered marketer, I want to introduce you to your professor, your teacher, the person who is going to lead you through this class, and that is Russ Henneberry. Russ is the founder of the Click, and Russ also is the co-author of a book called Digital Marketing for Dummies. And I am positive he wrote that for me. But it's very good. So you might want to check that out. So without further ado, Russ, welcome to the show. It's all yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Ralph. And I'm going to be talking today about, yes, this cold start problem that we have in AI that might be causing some frustration. We've already gone through, if you haven't watched the first couple of episodes of this series, in the first episode, we talked about the basics of AI. We played around with the RTIF prompt formula and learned about what the general capabilities of AI are in terms of marketing. And then in the second episode, we started to talk about more advanced concepts around the rules of AI and how to get the most out of it as a marketer. And now today is sort of the PhD class, and we're going to talk about a concept called the AI Marketing Hub. And what this does is it transforms this off-the-shelf generic AI that everybody has access to into an intelligent marketing hub. Because here's the deal. So back in 2022, when ChatGPT launched, I was kind of like, these were my faces. So I was like astonished at what it could do. And I was scared. I was like, is this gonna completely disrupt business? And is it going to destroy my company? What's it gonna do? Like, what's going to happen with this technology? And again, I was like just sort of fascinated and astonished by it. But by 2023, I was kind of like rolling my eyes at it, and I was kind of like upset with it and frustrated with it because I just wasn't getting. So because I kind of went all in on this, I was like, okay, this is something I need to learn. This is something important. This is, I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and I can see that this is going to be disruptive. Like, but maybe it's going to be disruptive in the best way possible. So I'm going to go in and learn it. But I kind of just got really frustrated with it. And I was rolling my eyes at it. I was getting upset with it because it was just giving me this boiled chicken, generic, terrible stuff. And I just wasn't getting anything out of it. And now in 2024, I've really learned how to get really, really good output, marketing output from it, and have increased my own efficiency. And now I've been out there training people on how to get the most out of these AI systems going forward. So, as Ralph said, this process right here, pay attention because it's going to teach you how to become a more valuable marketer, whatever that means for you, whether you're a employee or you own a company or you're a freelancer or whatever you're doing in your marketing world, like you're going to become more valuable when you learn this process I'm going to show you today. Because here's the thing, we were promised the AI promise, there's a promise behind this AI stuff is that we're going to have these superhuman capabilities. We're going to be able to do things with higher quality at greater speed, which is basically what we mean when we say efficiency, which is really what companies are looking for, right? Companies are looking for greater efficiency because it creates a competitive advantage and it allows them to create more profits for the company. So we were promised this efficiency, but what happened, right? The frustration around AI and the sort of like, well, I tried it, but it's not really useful to me, is due to something that I call the cold start problem. And the cold start problem is best illustrated by an example that's very near and dear to my heart, which is cooking. Okay, so I like to make really delicious food. And so this is me going into an AI called Claude. If you haven't played with Claude, give it a try. You can try it out for free. And if you love it, you can always upgrade to the paid version, but try the free version. And I love Claude.ai. And so I went into Claude, just the generic version of Claude, the version that you could go access right now, absolutely free. And I said to it, hey, what's a new recipe you would suggest I cook tonight? And it came back to me and said, let me suggest a cozy lemon garlic shrimp pasta with kale. And blah, 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 and here's the ingredients and all that stuff, which is an answer. It's an answer, but it's an answer that made me make this face. Like, I don't, that doesn't sound good to me, right? That's not a good fit for what I like to eat. And then I went and created something called Chef Russ. Okay, now I'm going to show you what Chef Russ is in just a second. But I asked Chef Russ inside Claude the same question. Not, if you don't know, my name's Russ. So Chef Russ is me. So, and it suggested, let me suggest something based on reviewing the recipes. Since we have several interesting options, I'll suggest a fun twist on what I see. a Thai Mexican fusion bowl inspired with combining elements of Thai red curry and refried beans. And I was like, whoa, that does sound good to me, right? Maybe to you, it's like, it doesn't sound good. Maybe you liked more of the look of the lemon garlic shrimp pasta with kale. So what changed here? How did the AI make a better suggestion to me for what to cook between this query and this query? And what happened was, I got all excited about this Thai Mexican fusion bowl because I had created something called Chef Russ inside of Claude. And what I did was I took this concept called the knowledge base inside of any AI. You could do this inside of Gemini. You can do this inside of ChatGPT, which is what we're going to play with later on in this episode. Towards the end, I'm going to show you how to build one of these inside of ChatGPT. And believe me, I'm not going to show you how to build Chef Russ inside of ChatGPT. I'm going to show you how to build one that's for marketing. But I want to illustrate that what I had done here is I had uploaded into its project knowledge my recipes, a whole bunch of my recipes into its knowledge base. That was the difference. It took the context of my other recipes and ended up suggesting something to me that I thought would be delicious, something much more on target than the generic AI was able to do outside of the Chef Russ container that I created. So what we had done was eliminated what we call the cold start problem. So the cold start problem is this challenge that we have every day we use AI, having to start over and retrain it about what it is we're trying to do. I heard the guy who actually is the project in charge of the product at Claude. He described it as an amnesia problem. And I like that analogy as well, that the AI has amnesia. Every time you start back up with it, it doesn't remember. It doesn't understand things. It forgets things. But when we create a system like I'm going to show you today, which is very simple, no coding, no development skills. You don't have to be a tech nerd to create this at all. You'll see how easy this is to eliminate this cold start problem. And again, it's that challenge that we bump up against when we use AI and we don't give it any specific context or training. What happens when we use an AI with a cold start is we create generic, useless AI output. We waste our time, which is not what makes you a more valuable marketer. Believe me, you don't want to have generic, useless marketing content and ideas and all these things coming out of your AI. You don't want to be wasting your time, and you get frustrated, and so you quit using the AI. And you say, "Well, I would have been better off just coming up with these ideas on my own." So let's get back to marketing and how this applies to marketing. AI, as we know, has absorbed more information than any one person could in 1,000 lifetimes. So it's absorbed the internet into its brain. So it knows a lemon garlic kale recipe, and it also knows a Thai fusion Mexican bowl recipe. It knows all of these things because it's pulled all of what we have created and put online into its neural network. So it has the internet. But the problem is that the AI knows nothing about the businesses that we are marketing. Just like it doesn't know anything about what I like to cook for dinner, it doesn't understand the company you are trying to serve. It doesn't know that. So using generic off-the-shelf AI gives you generic boiled chicken output. You're not going to get above average stuff out of an AI until you learn how to give it the context that it needs to do its job. So, what I'm going to show you is how to become an AI savvy marketer, to learn to bolt tailored business information onto your AI. So, you take this thing that has this incredibly knowledgeable, right? Incredibly knowledgeable AI system and bolt business data into its brain, your business data custom business data so that you can leverage this incredible knowledge base and also have it understand the context of what you're trying to cook up at your company, right? Like, what are you trying to cook? What promotions are you creating? What emails are you creating? What content are you creating? What lead generation strategies are you putting together? Let it know those things, train it, and then save that so that you're not having to deal with a cold start every time. So let's jump back to cooking real quick to illustrate this. So if we go back into my Chef Russ container, or what I would call a hub inside of an AI, where I have uploaded all of my recipes. Let's look at my Texas beans recipe, which, by the way, is incredible and an amazing recipe. I spent a lot of time in Texas, and when I would eat the beans down there, eventually I just said, I got to learn how to make these. And so I have perfected this Texas beans recipe, but I can go into an AI like this inside of this hub or this container, and I can say something like, what are some variations I could try with my Texas beans recipe? And because it has this in its knowledge base, it's able to give me some pretty dang good ideas, things that I want to try, like adding some meat variations or some different flavor boosters, or changing up the beans that I put into the Texas beans recipe to continue to make it better. And this is exactly what happens when we upload custom information into an AI. We get its broad knowledge of the entire internet that it's absorbed, and it's this incredible amount of intelligence. And then we give it context, and it becomes so much better. Like, this is the key to unlocking what we were promised with AI, which is increased quality at greater speed. In other words, efficiency. And if you can unlock this as a marketer, you will become more valuable to the businesses you serve, and you will earn more. You will earn more money, and your companies will earn more money if you learn this stuff. So in this case, I had bolted in Russ's recipes. But let's look at a marketing example. So let's take a company that I think any of us can understand, which is a business that sells pet insurance. All right. It's kind of a fun company to use as an example. This business sells insurance for dogs, cats, and I bet you can't guess the third animal that it insures. Uh, I was surprised at what the third animal is that this company insures. I thought I guess I thought it would be something else, but you can guess and put it into the uh, chat or into the Q&A if you think you have an idea, and Ralph can kind of get a giggle out of that. So let's say we're working on this pet plan company, and we say our goal today is to create a webinar series. So we're going to create a webinar series. We want to sell more dog insurance. So when I go into a generic off-the-shelf AI and I do not use an AI marketing hub process like I'm teaching you here, I would say something like, hey, let's set up a webinar series to sell more dog insurance. Say this to the AI, and the AI comes back with a very generic, average, basically useless idea, which is, let's have a webinar called Why Every Dog Owner Needs Pet Insurance. And the reason that this is basically useless is because the AI has no context inside of its generic version. But then we take that first step towards creating a true artificial intelligence that has the context around what we're trying to do as a marketer. And we take that step towards an AI marketing hub. Now, the hub is a central command center from which we do all the AI marketing. So if we're working inside of an AI for a company, we are working inside of that company's container, inside of that company's hub. Just like my recipe hub, we create a hub where it has lots of context about the company we are serving as a marketer. So let's look at the first step of creating a hub. We want to upload into its mind, we want to bolt into its brain the basics that we need to do marketing. What are we selling? Precisely, what are we selling? And who are we serving? And what is this company? Like what is this company that we are marketing? So I call this a business profile, right? So a profile of the company we are serving that adds a lot of information into the AI's mind. I'm going to show you all of these documents in a second. They're just PDF documents that we're going to bolt into its mind. We're going to want to upload offers. So what do we sell? If you sell conveyor equipment to warehouses, for example, you would want to create a detailed offer document. This is what we sell. This is what it is. And in fact, chances are this documentation already exists at your company. It's probably on your website or in print material, in sales material. You want to take that documentation and you want to bolt it into this AI's brain, and then you want to save it so that you don't have a cold start every time. It always knows if you're inside this container, you are talking about these offers. And then personas is so powerful. In fact, if you only did one thing today, it would be to create a hub, like I'm going to show you, and add the persona, because the persona is so important. It is the detailed outline of who does this company serve, and oftentimes we have multiple personas that we want to put inside of an AI marketing hub. I will demonstrate that in just about 10 minutes. So take a look at, remember we were dealing with this pet insurance company, right? And we've got this Pet Plans AI marketing hub. This is built inside of Claude. I'm going to demonstrate later how to do this in ChatGPT, but you can build this inside of Claude. You can build this inside of Gemini. You can build this inside of ChatGPT. All of these tools have the ability to create a custom knowledge base. And check this out. So what I do is I upload into its project knowledge. You can see I'm only using 3% of this AI's capacity as of the time I took this screenshot, which is about 2 weeks ago. So I'm using 3% of this AI's capacity to hold custom knowledge for this conversation inside of this container or this hub. And I've put in here a business profile. I put in here detailed information about our dog insurance, about our cat insurance, and about two personas. Taylor, who owns an expensive dog breed, like it's got that bougie dog breed. I don't know what's the bougiest dog breeds out there. I don't know, because my dog's a rescue dog, but like um this is a typical persona that would be insured, right? Like people would buy insurance on expensive dog breeds. And then we've got the persona Violet, which is a first time pet owner. So this person has just bought their first pet and has different challenges than Taylor, that owns an expensive dog breed. And so we've given it all this context. These are just like my recipes. We are giving it context, we're giving it knowledge, and now we're able to get some real marketing work done. So I want to show you these documents. Um, these are just PDFs, guys. Like these are just PDF documents. So we've got the business profile. Let me bump this up so you can see it, where I want to give it information like a quick overview, its mission statement, the website, what industry, the year established, um, just high level information about the audience and the services, because I'm going to give it more detailed information in other documentation about the offers and the personas, the things that we sell and the people that we sell it to. We want to give it that in a separate set of documents, but I hit it high level inside the business profile. What is the value proposition of this company? And then really important, I think, to put into your business profile, what are the goals of the company? So if you've set up objectives as a marketing team, these are good things to put in here and give that AI that context that this company wants to increase customer lifetime value. And what I use to create, when I do this full-blown AI marketing hub training, I teach people how to create these SMART goals, but you've probably created SMART goals before: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. But anything is better than nothing. right? So if you don't have time to create SMART goals, or you create your goals a different way or whatever, you can put those inside of your business profile. And then again, you're just going to bolt that into the brain. And this is as easy as attaching a PDF document to an email. You literally just attach this and it's done. Like there's no coding here, there's no technical skills required. You're just going to upload this into its brain the way you would upload and attach an email, a PDF to an email. So let's look at an offer here. So this is an example of an offer document that you would want to build, where you've got things like the pricing, any bonuses or add-ons, payment terms, guarantees. You want to be as detailed as possible about what you offer, and then just bolt that in there, and you sort of set it and forget it, right? It's bolted in there. There's no more cold start. You don't have to start over and keep explaining, what is this company? What do we sell? In order to get some decent output from the AI, we don't have to do that because we're going to use this hub process. So again, we then bolt the offer into its brain. And we do this in any AI. I'm going to demonstrate inside of ChatGPT. This is Claude. Really love Claude, but I also love ChatGPT. They're all very good systems. Here's Violet, the first time pet owner. It's just a PDF document, and it's got demographics, psychographics. It's got pain points. Here's Taylor, a different persona, and all of this is that expensive dog breed owner persona with all of these challenges and pain points that Taylor has in, you know, as it's relevant to selling dog insurance. So you can see some things like, this person owns an expensive dog, right? Maybe thousands of dollars or five figures or more dog, right? And so concerned about veterinary costs, concerned about trusting care providers, concerns about adequate coverage for this premium breed. And so there's a lot of really good information that the AI is like, ooh, I understand why this Taylor would buy this product. So this is just marketing 101, right? But you got to remember that while the AI is incredibly knowledgeable, it doesn't know this stuff. It doesn't know what you're trying to do as a company, and you want to give it as much context as possible. So let's jump back and um, ask it the same question. Remember when we asked it this question back up here, where I said, hey, let's create a webinar series. And it was basically like, how about we create a webinar called Why Every Dog Owner Needs Pet Insurance, which is super boiled chicken. It's generic, right? It's super generic. And there's a reason for that. It's because it has no idea what you're trying to do. Like, it has, all I said was, hey, let's set up a webinar series. And it's like, we're going to be selling dog insurance. It's all it has to go on here. And it's because I'm starting with a cold start. And if you go back into episodes 1 and 2 of this program, of this series, you'll find better ways to write prompts, right? That are better prompts. But really, you could become really, really good at writing prompts. But if you don't set up a hub like I'm showing you, you're still going to get really pretty basic and boiled chicken output, or you're going to be spending a long time building out these crazy long prompts that include all of your stuff about your personas and your offers and all this stuff, when you don't need to do that. You can start every conversation with a set of pre-existing knowledge when you use an AI marketing hub like I'm showing you here. So let's jump back here and look at what happens inside of a hub like this when I say, create a webinar series to sell more dog insurance plans to Taylor. Now, this prompt is one sentence long and only a few words, right? But the fact is, it pulls in knowledge from all of these documents that I've uploaded into its brain, it knows who Taylor is and what Taylor's problems are, and it knows what we're selling, dog insurance, and it knows the details around that offer. So this little this prompt looks super short, but it's actually very long, isn't it? Because it's going in and referencing all the words that we put inside of all the details, all the context that we bolted into its brain. And you can see that it did a much better job of starting to build a webinar series to sell more of our dog insurance to this Taylor persona who owns an expensive dog breed. And you can see, look, how much better is that output? The prestige of pedigree, understanding your luxury breed, much better webinar idea for this persona than why every dog owner needs insurance. It's a really, really night and day difference between what happens inside of the hub when we work inside the container versus working outside of the container using the generic AI that every other marketer on the planet has access to. Because the fact is, intelligence intelligence has become a commodity and everybody has access to it now. So it's going to be your ability to use it better that is going to determine whether or not you become more valuable and earn more and do the things that we want to do as marketers moving forward as this AI stuff continues to develop. So one of the technical terms that we use in AI is called fine tuning. And if you want to think about the technical idea behind what we're doing here when we upload this kind of stuff in here is we are fine tuning the AI. We are tuning it the way we would tune a guitar, right? So you got this instrument, which is the AI, and then you go and you tune it to do what you want it to do. So they call this fine tuning. And the fact is that fine-tuned AI is already starting to become all around us, but it will be everywhere in 2025. 2025, you're going to see fine-tuned AI all over the show. So we have companies like Replica today, which are taking generic AI and they're teaching it to be more compassionate and more kind, and they are training it or fine-tuning it to become a companion that cares. We have this company that's launched called Core.ai, which is designed, it's fine-tuned to understand the medical side of things. So it's taking the generic version of AI and then it's bolting in there a whole bunch of training data around medical stuff. And, you can see here, it delivers conversational support for patients, providers, members, and employees. So it's going to be fine-tuned for this purpose. And then this company called CoCounsel, that's what Reuters call it, just sold for $650 million to Reuters because they noticed this trend, this fine-tuning trend, that this is the key to unlocking AI is to fine-tune it for a particular use case. And this company is built, this technology is built on top of ChatGPT, the same ChatGPT that you and I have access to, but it's been fine-tuned for lawyers and attorneys. So they call it CoCounsel. And this company built up in the last year and was bought by Thomson Reuters for $650 million because they know what's working. What's going to work going forward is custom fine-tuned AI. And you don't need to be a coder or developer to do this to market the companies that you're building or working on. So fine-tuning is when we take a pre-trained AI model and we further train it. We add specific data, we change how the AI works based on the particular task that we're trying to do. So when you fine tune your AI, whether it's Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT, you're going to transform the off-the-shelf version of AI that costs $20 a month into an AI marketing hub, and it transforms you into a marketer with a super intelligent assistant that never takes a day off and works with unfathomable speed, right? So most importantly, this AI you're going to build is going to truly understand the business that you're trying to help. So fine tuning is this missing link. It's how we access the true capabilities of AI. So let's talk about what these capabilities are. So first thing first, let's talk about capability zero. So capability zero, I call it this because without this basic level of fine tuning, you just have no chance of getting anything useful out of the AI, at least when it comes to marketing. You're going to have very little chance of getting anything, any good ideas, any good content, anything out of the AI if you don't at least have this basic level of fine tuning. We covered this already. The customer personas, the offers, the business profile. I call these the optimal primes because I'm a dork and I still watch Transformer movies. So the optimal primes are persona. Who are we serving? Offers. What are we selling? And business profile. What the heck is this company that we are serving? What are we marketing right now? So the second capability, or if we have capability zero, the first capability is what I call the scribe. So the scribe is how we create an AI that's able to have ideas, create outlines, and draft content and copy, right? So it's one of the things we do every day as marketers is we are creating, ideating, outlining, and drafting content and copy. And to do this, we want to bolt specific information into the AI's brain. Things like writing samples that we think that are already well written, brand guidelines, editorial calendars, brand voice information, all that stuff. So for Pet Plan, we create a set of brand voice guidelines. This may already exist at the company you serve or work on, or it may not. In the full-blown AI Marketing Hub training that I do at the Click, we create this document using existing written material that was created by the brand or by a brand that we admire, and then it outputs this really detailed brand voice guidelines, and that's how you create an AI that is able to create ideas, outlines, and drafts of content and copy that is 50% already completed or 75% there or even 90% there and just needs you to come in and add. And this is how we increase efficiency. This is what we're going to have happening going forward. We can create a collaborative conversion expert. So another thing that we do a lot as marketers is we're trying to create assets for the company that convert, that turn audiences into leads and leads into sales and sales into people that love and promote and buy more from the companies that we serve. So we can create something we call the optimizer inside of an AI, which is able to evaluate and improve landing pages, articles, ads, emails, other marketing materials. We want to give it criteria to grade and then improve the assets that we're producing every day. Like that's what marketers do. We create assets for companies that are designed to drive more leads and sales. So you can see that this is a ChatGPT version of an AI marketing hub. This is the sort of back end of the container. And we've bolted in there a rubric that shows it what a good opt-in page would look like. So what is the qualities of a good lead generation page or opt-in page? And we create a rubric that tells it like grade yourself, like, or grade what I created or grade what this agency created that we hired to create these pages, like grade that. And we grade it based on certain criteria, like what's the headline on the opt-in page, how good is the offer on that opt-in page, etc. And then we can use the AI to optimize that asset, that page, for example, where we say, hey, using this rubric, grade the attached opt-in page and make suggestions to improve the conversion rate. We want more leads, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, and if I give it an image of that opt-in page and I say, here's the page, here's the rubric to grade the page, it's going to come back and grade that page. This is an example of using an AI to do conversion rate optimization. And then lastly, we have a capability that we call the strategist, which is this is the person that you turn to when you're just thinking through high level strategy. You can upload things like a market analysis or a competitor analysis or a SWOT analysis. These are just suggestions for the type of documentation you want to bring into your AI, depending on what you want to do with it. And you know what's the easiest way to determine what you should bring into the AI's knowledge base is ask yourself a simple question. If I was working with another human being and I was delegating this task to them, what documents, what information would I want them to have in order to do this job the best way possible? Whatever the answer is to that whatever you would have given to a human, document that into some format that the AI can accept, whether it's PDF or image. It can accept ping files, JPEG files, spreadsheets, Excel files, all kinds of things. And that's one of the ways we are going to see AI continue to evolve is what file formats are accepted. Can it take in video? Can it take in audio files? All of that stuff is being worked out and figured out by these companies to make it easier and easier for us to bring context into the AI. So when you think about this, you want to build an AI hub. If you have clients or if you have multiple brands that you're working on as a marketer, you can build a hub for each one. So you've got your version of Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT, and you build a hub. So let's demonstrate this, how to build one of these central command centers inside of an AI hub. So, or inside of ChatGPT. So I'm going to go into ChatGPT and if you have the paid version, you're going to go into Explore GPTs. And you click on Create. Now, if you want to follow along and do this with me, whether you're watching the recording right now or whether you're live, you can go to jointheclick.ai/SCB3. So jointheclick.ai/SCB3, which is the third episode from Supply Chain Brain. And that's my website, jointheclick.ai/SCB3, which is going to open up a folder. So if you just go into your browser, and we're going to spend the next 10 minutes or so playing inside of an AI marketing hub. So you're going to go to jointheclick.ai/SCB3, and that'll open up this folder and all of the documents that you would need to play around with what I'm going to play around with right now and demonstrate are here for you, including the instructions for a little exercise that I'm going to do. So if you want to play along, go to jointheclick.ai/SCB3. So let's go back into ChatGPT. And again, you need the paid version of this to create this custom GPT, which sounds kind of scary or weird, but it's the easiest thing in the world to do. It's easier. It's just like typing up an email to create a custom GPT. So I'm going to go back and remind you, go to Explore GPTs and then go to Create. And you're going to create your own GPT. And don't worry, no one's going to be able to get inside of the access to this unless you want them to. This is not going out onto some public area. we are going to create a custom GPT that we have access to as a marketer. And if we want other team members or something to be able to have access to it, we can do that as well. So you're just going to take the name of your company. In this case, it's Pet Plan, right? And we're going to say Pet Plan's AI Marketing Hub. And a short description will say, this is the central command center for all AI marketing for Pet Plan. Now, for the instructions, we'll come back to this in just a second. But what I want to show you is this part right here. This is the most important part for you, is to take this area and click on Upload Files. Now, if you go to jointheclick.ai/SCB3, you're going to see I have 5 PDF files here for us to play with today. Just consider this a little bit of a sandbox for you to go and play with if you want to play around with the capabilities of creating an AI marketing hub like this. So let's start by uploading some knowledge files here. And I'm going to go so you'll have a much easier time finding this because you will have put this on your machine. I have to go all the way into these folders here. Let's start by uploading the offer, the business profile, and the tailor. Let's open that. How can I select that? We'll put all 4 of these in there. So the first thing we're going to do is put the business profile, the offer for the Pet Plan dog insurance, and then 2 personas. Taylor, remember, where'd Taylor go? Here's Taylor, and here's Violet. So here's my 2 personas that we're uploading in here, plus the dog insurance offer there, information about the dog insurance we sell, and then the business profile, so it knows the company, Pet Plan UK, These are this is our mission, this is when we were formed, all that stuff is going into a custom knowledge base. And now up here in the instructions, we're just going to say act as a marketing consultant. Now you can go a lot more crazy with these instructions than we do in the AI Marketing Hub training that I do at the Click, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to have crazy amount of instructions here. But you should understand that these instructions are like the standing orders for this GPT. This custom container, it will not forget these instructions. It will always reference these instructions, and it will also always reference this knowledge base first before it's going to go out and look for external ideas or reference its own system instructions. So think about this as, here's my standing prompt. So you don't want to put anything in here that's temporary. You want to put things in here that are permanent. And for right now, you can just put something simple like act as a marketing consultant. And so I'm going to create this hub, and I want only me to have access to it, and save it. That's it in terms of the creation of a hub like this, so that now we have a container inside of ChatGPT. We can click on View GPT, or we can copy the link to this GPT, but let's click on View, and you can see now I'm inside of Pet Plan's AI Marketing Hub. It does have access to the offer, business profile, and 2 personas. Now let's play around a little bit in here. So if we go into the instructions for today, these AI Marketing Hub process, I just want to demonstrate the difference between working inside of the hub and working outside of the hub. So we've got prompt 1. We're going to do this inside. We're going to do this outside of an AI Marketing Hub. So we're going to say, hey, your role, if you go back to episode 1 of this webinar series, you'll see what I mean when I say role, task, input format. This is a method of creating good prompts that we covered in episode 1. But so the role here is, you're an expert email marketing strategist with extensive experience in creating high converting email sequences. So we're going to create an email sequence, and we want to create a comprehensive email plan. So this is the task. To sell more of our dog insurance, the plan should outline a 9-day email sequence that runs from November 13th to the 22nd with 2 emails on the final day designed to sell more dog insurance. Here's some details about the promotion. We're going to give the first 3 months 50% off, plus a first-year pet parent starter kit. This offer is valid until November 22nd. So that's a little information about the promotion that we're running for Pet Plan. And then I tell it the format. Give it to me in a table with these columns. Ensure that the email sequence builds upon itself, creating a cohesive narrative. Gradually increase the sense of urgency as the end date. So this is just all extra stuff, right? That I want to make sure that this is as good of a promotion as possible. And I'm going to go inside of ChatGPT, and I am going to create a thread outside of Pet Plans Hub. So this is just using the generic AI everybody has access to, and a pretty decent prompt. That's a good prompt that I put together there, and run that. So I'm telling it to build me an email sequence for a promotion. That promotion is 50% off pet insurance for the first 3 months, and then a first-year pet parent starter kit. And you can see it's doing a pretty good job. It's starting to build me out a email campaign plan, and it's going to be pretty good. And the reason it's going to be pretty good is that the prompt was really good. Like that's a really well designed prompt. So that's going to get me quite a ways down the line, but I'm still, if I look through here, I'm thinking this is good, not great. And we don't want to be doing average work as marketers. People that figure out how to be better marketers are going to earn more money. We know that. But people that learn how to leverage AI to do things with higher quality at greater speed are going to be the ones that are going to be moving forward and earning more and becoming more valuable. So we've got a plan coming out here in this form where we've got, okay, here's the subject line, here's the focus of this email, here's the key message of the hook, and here's the reason, the strategic reason that that the AI created that particular email subject line and focus. And you can see that's just coming right out of my prompt where I said, hey, include these columns, the date, subject line, the email body focus. So it's a pretty good prompt, and it created me some pretty good output. Now, if I go inside of the hub, I can change how I'm prompting the AI. I can say to it, I can add these things, which are going to make all the difference in the world. I can add these yellow areas here where I say, leverage. I really want you to look at Violet, that first time pet owner. This is who this promotion was created for. So I can go in here and I can create this prompt, and let's run this inside of the hub. You can see that I'm inside of this custom GPT that has this knowledge base, and I run this, and it's going to do the same thing, except it's going to have access to all my recipes, right? It's going to have access to all my
Hey,
stuff.
Russ,
Yeah.
I am so sorry. We are completely out of time.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, and so that's sort of the end of this demonstration is you can see that now we are getting much better output because we are working inside of a hub that has context.
Thank you very much. This has been great. Look, I mean, for those of you who are really into this, and we hope you all are, please know we want you to dive into this. We're going to send you an email that's going to give you access to the first 2 episodes. Certainly want you to watch those. If you want to reach out to Russ, we encourage you to do that as well. But for today, Russ, the thing I would love for you to leave the audience with, now that we've done all this, is what should they do right now? Like, what is, your 30-second, 45-second, here's what I would encourage you to do right now just to give them that next step.
Right. So, I encourage you to learn this technology. So, and one of the ways to do that is just to continue to attend sessions like this through Supply Chain Brain, and just get involved with communities that are looking forward rather than sort of cowering away from this technology. It's really here to stay, and it's something that I think you should invest in. It's when I got started, Ralph, I got started with the internet revolution,
Yeah.
and I rode that wave, and it's how I have become the professional that I am,
No, that's
and I
right.
am riding this wave as well. I'm excited about it. It's a lot of fun.
Right. And like I said at the beginning, folks, really, I mean, what we want to do is we want to go from lagging to leading, and we do that through learning. So, Russ, if you'll bring the deck back up, what we'll
Sure.
do is we'll thank the audience for being here. We certainly appreciate you. We know you guys have a lot going on. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of that. We want to help. We certainly want to help you with your professional development, and we're going to continue to do that. By all means, reach out to us. We will be sending you the on-demand link for today's show. So that will be in the next slide as far as the information. We'll give you that within 24 hours. And also, again, first two episodes. So you'll have access to the whole series. And then don't forget, beginning in January, we will be starting a brand new series on lead generation. Just as important as what we've talked about for the last 3 months, lead generation for those of us in marketing is hugely important. So, with that, Russ, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I look forward to working with you in 2025. And for those of you out there, remember, we do this because we want to be more well known to our prospects. We want them to know we're here. So instead of us knocking on doors, they're knocking on yours. And that's really what we're trying to accomplish here. Let us know if there's any ideas, suggestions, questions you might have. Until then, may 2025 be your best year ever. Have a great day, everybody.